I have a question for you all. Are you afraid to get on camera because sometimes you're looking at somebody else doing it and you feel that maybe you're not good enough, you're not doing as good as they are? You're looking at them and you say, you know, I wish I can do that, or I can never do as good as that. So you're basically comparing yourself to somebody else, and that is why you feel like you can't get on camera. You feel like that's the barrier that is put on you. When I was in my first grade, I was never the best kid in class. So out of a 35 students class, I was usually in the first third of the class or something like that. My first grade, I believe I was number 15 or something. So I was one of these kids who was rather shy. I worked, I studied, but I was not the best. I was really not the worst either. So I remember when I finished my first grade and I ran home to tell my mother that I'm on 15th on top of the class. And my mother said to me, hey, how about these two girls, so-and-so, you know, Mary and Jane. I'm going to give these names because I don't want to give their real names. And I said, what's with Mary and Jane? And she goes, where are they placed in class? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't check. Well, go back to school and look at the board and let me know. So I was excited because I thought that's something that I should be doing. So I ran back to school and I looked it up, and sure enough, they were behind me. I kind of knew because I knew I was better than them in classes. And so my mom said, oh, that's great. Wonderful. Second year, the same thing happened. Second year, I was actually doing better. I was number 12. I was very excited. I ran home. Mom, I'm number 12. Okay, how about Mary and Jane? I don't know. Well, go back to school and find out. So going back to school, I'm checking it on the list. Sure enough, they were behind me. So I was excited. I thought, well, that's good. Although, you know, in my mind, I thought, well, I don't know. Maybe I don't need to be excited about being better than them. But I didn't think much of it until the next year when I'm number 10. So I'm doing better and better in school. And I go home and I tell my mother, I'm number 10. And she said, how about Mary and Jane? And all of a sudden it dawned on me. Why am I comparing myself with Mary and Jane? They are not as good as I am in class. And yet I am comparing myself with somebody who is not performing at a high level. If I compare myself with somebody else who appears to be better than me, it's still not a good thing because how do I know what their situation is? Maybe we're different. Maybe I'm better at other things and maybe they're better at other things. So at that point, I was only about 10 years old. And I said to my mother, Mother, you know what? I don't want to go back to school and tell you what place Mary and Jane are in on the board. I don't care. All I want is to compare myself with myself. So that was one of the things that I strived from that point on in life. I was never competitive. It didn't matter to me how other people are doing. I was happy with how I did. I was happy if I was able to improve on my performance. Because I always thought of it this way, what a disadvantage I put myself at if I compare myself to somebody else. Because when you compare yourself, it's usually because you doubt yourself. And when you doubt yourself, you think of yourself as being at your lowest level. When you compare yourself to others, you look at them from a perspective that you don't understand well enough. You're only looking at them from the perspective of an observer. You don't know exactly what is happening in their lives. So you really are comparing the worst image of yourself with the best image of them. That's not fair. That is not fair. So when you want to compare with anybody, the only person you want to compare yourself with is you. What you want to do is, so for example, when it comes to getting on camera, if you really want to get on camera, if you really want to put yourself out there and bring your entire heart and soul and open up in front of your audience, what you want to do is take action, extreme action. Get on camera today. Record it. Even if you were to record a short video and post it, But you can also get on live. I guarantee you it will be a lot easier than record a video. Get on live and tell people you love them. Tell them how much you appreciate them. Tell them how wonderful of a day you have. That's all you have to do. And once you hang up, once you save that video, you know what? You're going to be a lot better than you were a minute ago, before you did it. So the only entity you want to compare yourself with is yourself. So that's my message for today. This is Thursday Thought from Carmen here in Naples. Look at this beautiful weather.